It is 3:40, and I am now calling the January regularly scheduled meeting of the Monuments and Ceremonies Commission to order. And we will begin with a roll call. On the video conference, we have Jim DeMark, Sue Ann Shore, Jim Long, and Autumn Howard. And present in the room, we have Nancy Natali and Terry Gaffney, which does give us a quorum. Also joining us today is Isabel Negron, who has been forwarded by the Democrat Town Committee for appointment to the Board of Selectmen, and she is waiting for her interview with the Board of Selectmen, but we have invited her today as a more than interested observer to our meeting and our procedures. So welcome, Isabel.
Thank you.
The review of minutes, as we did not have a quorum back in December, the November meeting minutes had been distributed, and now so have the December minutes. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, corrections, or omissions?
I move to be adopted.
Okay, I have a motion to approve as written. Seconded?
Seconded.
Nancy seconds. All those in favor? Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Okay, minutes approved. Next on our agenda is commission staffing. As noted, Isabel Negron has been forwarded by the Democrat Town Committee to the Board of Selectmen, and we are waiting for her interview, but she is here with us today. The 4 sitting commissioners who had been up for reappointment have all been interviewed by the Board of Selectmen and have been reappointed, so thank you, each and every one of you, for stepping up to the plate one more time. I made a note that the town webpage, the four who were reappointed are Jim DeMark, Sue Ann Shore, Rob Hulick, and Terry Gaffney. And as to the terms, apparently there was an oversight last year. Rob should have been officially reappointed a year ago, so his term will only run till November of 2023. The other 3, their terms will run through November 2024.
When does my term get when am I up for reappointment? Do you know?
I'd have to look, but it's a 3-year term,
Oh,
so whatever you're.
I'm not worried. Hasn't even, I don't think it's been a year.
Okay, so Chairman's report. I had forwarded to the Board of Selectmen a recap of our events for the year. First and foremost was the fact that we did have 4 new commissioners join the commission last year: Autumn Howard, Nancy Natali, John King, and Jim DeMark. As we had been plagued by continual staffing shortages, we petitioned the RTM and the Board of Selectmen to reduce the size of our commission from 15 members to 9 members so we could more effectively field a quorum at our meetings. That request was granted in March. John King subsequently resigned in June as he has moved to Rowayton. The biggest event we field every year has been our Memorial Day Parade and the following dedication ceremony at Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery. And thanks to the hard work and cooperation of then sitting First Selectman Jamie Stevenson and our town's health director, David Nauf. They worked tirelessly with us, along with Chief Don Anderson and Captain Jerry from the police department, that we were able to field a full Memorial Day parade this past year, along with the Veterans Cemetery, despite the COVID scenario. Our Grand Marshal was Navy Commander retired Peter Kenyon, and our keynote speaker was Major Sherrod Sammy, and I think Sherrod gave one of the more memorable speeches this past year than we've had in quite a long time. We had approximately 400 residents who participated in the cemetery service after the parade, and I was very pleased with that number. Again, based on COVID, I was delighted we had that many people there. Our next ceremony was Flag Day, which was held in Veterans Circle in front of Townhall, and our Vice Chair, Sue Ann Shore, led that ceremony, assisted by the color guard from the VFW Post 6933. And despite inclement weather, we had approximately 45 residents who participated. The Darien Wartime Veteran Street Sign Program. This is a program where we will give an honorary street designation to a veteran who has served in a theater of combat and who has participated actively in the social fabric of this town. This past year, we honored two such residents, Frank Valenti and Joseph Fred Calvi, and they each had street signs named after them. Middlesex Middle School teacher Lucy Berry, who has been the one who not only initiated this program, but has been driving it ever since. So thank you, Lucy, for all your efforts. The Darien Cemetery Committee, spearheaded by Jim DeMark and John King, have continued the improvements of several cemeteries that were started by the late Sharon Kells and by Tracy Root. Most notably the Norotan River Cemetery, where Mario Lombardi's company has done the maintenance work and done a splendid job. There's also continuing work going on at Weeds Landing Cemetery, and when we get to the cemetery subcommittee report, Jim will fill us in on the rest. Rob Hulick has been setting up a procedure with a company to provide repair services on broken headstones, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We also held our traditional 9/11 memorial service. Our 9/11 memorial marker is located in the grotto behind Middlesex Middle School. That is a memorial that was set up by Eagle Scout Josh Doyne the year after 9/11. And we had approximately 200 attendees this year, and very, very moving ceremony. Side note, a thank you to Jim Cameron and then First Selectman Jamie Stevenson. We have a sister city, Darien, Illinois, and Jim Cameron was nice enough to forward a copy of their 9/11 service, which was dedicated to Darien, Connecticut, for the 6 residents that we lost in that attack, and to our first responders who stood ready to answer the call, and sadly, there was nothing to do. Although quite a few of them as individuals did go down to ground zero and help out there. The big thing this year was the Darien 2020 bicentennial celebrations, 1 year after the fact due to COVID. This subcommittee spearheaded by Al Miller, provided stirring educational programs, most notably the programs held on October 23rd at the Darien Museum.
They were awesome. The
First Congregational Church and the Mather Homestead, each of which highlighted reenactments of events which shaped our town's history in the Revolutionary War, including the abduction of Reverend Moses Mather, played very ably, I might add, by new Selectman John Zagrodzky, the Tory raid at the Mather homestead, and the skirmish at Nearwater Lane, each of which featured local residents and historic reenactors. In addition, the Bicentennial Committee erected 9 Darien Heritage Trail markers throughout town at historic sites, and a time capsule has been buried. So again, thank you to Al Miller, a big thank you to Al Miller and his committee for all their hard work, and to the Darien Foundation who funded the Darien Trail markers. Our next ceremony was held on Veterans Day at Veterans Circle right here in front of Town Hall. The color guard from VFW Post 6933, as always, ably assisted. Our brand new first selectman at that time, Monica McNally, opened the ceremony by reading the presidential proclamation. And we were blessed to have the brand new VFW member, Neil Downing, lead us in a very stirring rendition of the national anthem. Thank you, Neil. There were approximately 75 residents in attendance. Wreaths across America, although not an official function of this commission, individual commissioners did help with logistics and planning. United States Navy Captain retired John Carter spearheaded the event. Wreaths were placed on all 2,163 graves in the Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery. Additional services included placing a wreath in Long Island Sound to commemorate those lost at sea, and placing wreaths on the graves of the 3 Medal of Honor recipients buried in Darien: Homer L. Wise, David Schofield, and Oscar Peck. Approximately 240 residents assisted in decorating the graves, and a very large thank you specifically to Jim DeMarc and John King for doing a yeoman's task of really getting the word out, so that not only did we have enough wreaths to cover every veteran's grave site in our veterans cemetery, but we had a surplus of 500 wreaths which we donated to the Middletown, Connecticut Veterans Cemetery, so they too could have a good show. So thank you to all for their strong efforts there. Next, the Town Hall display case, located downstairs in the lobby, is available for any town-associated not-for-profit organization. This past year, we featured the Darien 2020 Bicentennial Commission, the Darien High School Art Projects, the Good Wife's River Chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and our own Monuments and Ceremonies Commission. So that was the summary of the events that this commission sponsored this year.
Terry, when are they taking the wreaths down?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Budget review. Seeing as we seem to have figured out what our needs have been over the last several years, we submitted a budget request in the same amounts requested in prior years: $2,250 for ceremonies, $4,000 for repair and maintenance, and $10,000 for cemetery upkeep. We will use all $10,000 on cemetery upkeep this year, and will more than likely have to dip into the repair and maintenance amount come springtime. So we are trying our best to be responsible stewards of the town's money. What we ask for, we spend. We don't ask for anything more than we need. And we try to run a tight ship, and I think we've done so. Separately, Rob Hulick, who is our treasurer, is formulating a request for funds for a capital improvement project to repair broken headstones. That is still in process. That does not have to be submitted for the budget at this point, but Rob is working on that. Next on the agenda is wreaths across America. The wreaths were placed on the graves, as noted, on December 14th. We were ably assisted by the Darien swim team, by the state champion, thank you, congratulations, the state champion Darien High School football team, the Cub Scouts of packs 53 and 55, particularly the other Cub Scout packs as well, the Girl Scouts, and any number. We must have had, I think, probably 250 volunteers this year to help. So it was really great. As mentioned, we also placed the wreath in the water and on the Veterans Cemetery, on the Medal of Honor recipients' graves. The wreaths will be retired a week from Saturday. That's January 22nd at 10 a.m. All residents and guests are invited to come participate. We would be especially grateful for those residents who have recycling center stickers to come to take the wreaths and dispose of them at the recycling center.
You mean at the dump?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to check the wreaths. If the wreaths do not have any metal in them, I know the wreaths that you buy in the store have a metal frame. I don't think these do, but they may. I'll check. If they do not have a metal frame, they can be disposed of in the leaf and brush area. If there's a metal frame, no.
Last year they had trucks and we filled the backs of trucks with
Right.
them. We're not having those this year?
We're trying not to spend money.
We had to pay for that. I thought those were town trucks. I didn't realize we had to do that.
No,
Okay.
they were volunteer trucks.
Oh, okay, got
And
it.
again, if we have the volunteer trucks, we then have to make application for a special permit from DPW for them to get into the dump. Yeah.
Everything's paper.
Yeah.
We are not a paperless society.
Next, cemetery committee update. I've got a few notes here, but Jim DeMarc, do you want to fill us in?
What about Wartime Veteran Street Sign Program?
Mario has finished his fall cleanup. He did an outstanding job this year. I think that everybody would agree to that. We found an additional Reed's Landing Cemetery, and he did a very good job cleaning that up. We're not going to do anything until we just clean up.
Jim, I think if you moved away from your microphone, you have to move closer. You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. As you mentioned, Rob has a proposal from a company that we brought into the River Cemetery.
Right.
And I have contacted the Darian Foundation, and they was interested in supporting it.
Again, Jim, you have to stay close to your microphone. You're breaking up.
I'm sorry, and we're waiting to hear back from them to find out whether or not we're going to get that kind of support. But everything has gone well for this year. And let me just add one other thing, Terry. The Reefs Across America is from John Bartlett.
Jim, again, you can't be moving around. You have to keep your head stationary, otherwise you break up.
Does he live near me? This happens to me all the time.
Chrissy Mara and Jay Wood helped an awful lot in terms of raising money this year as far as the Reefs are concerned. And I just wanted everybody to know that.
Say those names again, please.
Jim Long,
Right?
John Bartlett, Tracy Mara, and Jay Wood, all helped us to raise money this year, and obviously John King and I as well, but I just wanted everybody to know that those other folks helped us a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Part of the reason why John and I are trying to expand this,
Yeah,
at some point, who knows, either John or I will get hit by a truck or whatever. And we've been soliciting like a minimum of 100 people or each crowd to listen more, so it made it a lot easier for us to raise the money.
well, job well done.
Thank you. And also, Mr. Long as well.
And Nancy was quick to point out that I was dyslexic for a minute, and I jumped to 8, jumped right over 7. So let me put it in reverse and back up to number 7. Wartime Veteran Street Sign Program. The subcommittee currently has several applications to be reviewed. Our thought process, again, I repeat this every month because I'm sure that we have several hundred new viewers every month for our meetings. The program is open to any veteran who has served in a combat theater and who has done something of substance to contribute to the social fabric of the town. It is incumbent upon anybody who is going to submit an application to do all the paperwork. We're a volunteer committee, and we do not have the time or the staff to chase down loose ends. The applications are available online on the town's website, and they are also available in paper form at the first selectman's office. We try to present one a year, and if feasible, 2 a year, that we try to tailor around Memorial Day and Veterans Day. So if anybody is so inclined to do the work to put the information into the basket for us, we'll be happy to review it. Next, Memorial Day Parade. Memorial Day may be 5 months away on the calendar, but it's only 1 week away on the calendar for planning purposes of when it starts. And seeing as I am not sure what my residence status is going to be a year and a half from now, I am looking for someone on this commission. Actually, they don't have to be on this commission, but I need somebody to volunteer to be my shadow this year so they can see what it is that I do. In the event that I am not a town resident a year and a half from now, I will need somebody else to be the chair for the Memorial Day Parade next year. So I need everybody to chew on that, but don't chew too long, because I need that volunteer before February's meeting. And of course, I'm being very optimistic. I am assuming I will still coordinate with the town health department, but I am operating under the assumption that whether or not this latest wave subsides, which God willing it does, but we will be working hand in glove with the town health department, the police department, and the first selectman's office to ensure that we can do everything within our power to ensure the health of our citizens. And then Townhall display case. We do not have any applications in from any of the nonprofits in town at the moment. So for those who are listening, if you are involved with any not-for-profit organization in town who would like to utilize the town hall display case, it's there for the asking. So again, that's something that if you go on the town website, that you can send an email to this commission from the town website. If you look under commissions and click on monuments and ceremonies, there is an email address. You can contact us that way.
Does it have to be a Darien non-for-profit, or can it be
It
anywhere in
has
the
to be
state?
associated with Darien.
Okay.
It can be a larger organization, can be a national organization or a regional organization, but it has to have some footprint in Darien.
Okay.
Not somebody who's looking to come into Darien, someone who has some presence here, no matter how slight. I mean, we have had national organizations before. We've had recycling efforts that were in there, there was a national organization, but hand in glove with our recycling commission. So it has to have something that touches Darien.
Okay.
And then I would ask for any new business. Sue Ann, you must have something new, come on.
Nothing new. No.
Okay.
Saved by the bell.
Off to the races.
No, get off the track, the train is coming.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. Rescue Pauline. So Isabel, what did you think as a somewhat more than interested observer?
I think it's a really good organization, but you do a lot.
Well, usually it's
Yeah.
more of a round robin, but with
Uh-huh.
the problem with Zoom is that it's
Right.
basically a one-man blah blah as opposed to the usual round table. It's one of the weaknesses of Zoom.
Mhm.
Well, I don't hear any new business, so do I hear a motion for a Carabillo?
Moved.
Motion for Karen Mills.
Okay, it was second, third, fourth, and fifth, so I don't even know if I have to ask for a show of hands because I got it from everybody without asking.
We'll go back out in the freezing
So having
cold
said
now.
that, at 4:08, I am closing the meeting. Thank you all for attending, and I'll see you next month. But think about Memorial Day, I need a shadow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody.